If you've ever pictured cybercriminals as just, smashing a digital window and hoping for the best, you need to think again. There is a new, much smarter threat out there, and it's running a secret test on your system before it even thinks about striking.
Just let that sink in for a second. What if malware could quietly take a measure of your defenses, your capabilities, all to figure out the perfect way to take you down? This isn't science fiction anymore. This is the new reality of ransomware.
And to really get how much of a game changer this is, we've got to rewind the clock a little bit. See, it wasn't that long ago that a ransomware attack was a loud, messy, chaotic event. Subtlety was definitely not its strong suit.
Your IT team, and heck, maybe even you, could spot the signs. All of a sudden, your computer's fans would sound like they were getting ready for takeoff. Your CPU usage would just spike, hitting 100%, and you'd get all these performance alerts popping up. The attack basically announced itself with a fireworks show. It was total brute force.
Well, you can probably guess that those days are fading, and fading fast. The attackers, they've gotten smarter, they've gotten stealthier, and honestly, they've gotten terrifyingly more efficient. The game has absolutely changed.
There's this brilliant analogy from researchers at Cisco Talos that just perfectly captures this new strategy. It's not a smash and grab anymore. It's a calculated test run. It's a quiet little reconnaissance mission happening right under your nose.
So the official term for this whole thing is ransomware benchmarking. But a better way to think about it is this. The malware is turning your system's own power against you. It's measuring your speed, your performance. Not to admire it, but to design a personalized attack that's going to cause the most damage with the least chance of getting caught.
Okay, so how does this secret test actually play out in the real world? To see it in action, we need to look at the mechanics of this one specific variant called Kraken, which is really one of the pioneers of this dangerously clever technique.
The process itself is, well, it's chillingly simple. It's almost elegant. First, the malware creates a temporary, harmless-looking junk file. Step 2, it encrypts that file as fast as it possibly can, timing the entire operation down to the millisecond. And then, and this part is absolutely key, it cleans up after itself. It deletes the file, deletes any evidence of the test. It's a ghost in the machine.
The whole point of this little performance is stealth. This quick, clean test is specifically designed to avoid those massive CPU spikes and those flashing red alerts that were the dead giveaways of the older, clumsier ransomware.
And this is where it gets truly dangerous. The results from that secret test, they aren't just for a report card. No, they're used to turn your own system into a perfectly calibrated weapon against you. So now, armed with that data, the malware makes a calculated choice. If your system is a high-performance machine, a beast, it launches a full-throttle encryption attack. It locks down everything it can. But, and this is the interesting part, if your system is a bit slower, it pivots to a partial encryption attack, and believe it or not, that might actually be even more dangerous.
Why? Well, because this adaptive tactic is the secret to its stealth. A partial encryption puts way less strain on your system, which means it can stay hidden for longer, and it won't trigger those alarms. It doesn't need to lock up everything. It just needs to corrupt your files just enough to break them, rendering all your critical data completely useless.
So when you're faced with a threat that's this smart, this patient, it's really easy to feel like you're already a step behind. But you are not powerless. So what's the winning move here? The only winning move is to get ahead of the attack before it even starts. Your defenses, they have to evolve. You have to shift from just reacting to loud alarms to actively hunting for these quiet, suspicious whispers. So here's the playbook to do just that.
All right, these 5 steps, they're your best defense against this kind of stealth attack. First up, enable behavioral detection. This means using security tools that don't just look for threats they already know about, but they watch for suspicious activity, like a program suddenly creating and encrypting random files. Second, limit your admin rights. This Kraken malware, it needs high-level privileges to run its test and cover its tracks, so by limiting who has that power, you're taking away its tools. Third, the classic, but it is absolutely crucial, patch everything. Keep your systems updated. Fourth, segment your network. This is what prevents one compromised laptop from becoming the gateway to your entire digital kingdom. And finally, your ultimate safety net. Maintain offline and immutable backups. That means having copies of your critical data that are not only disconnected from the network, but are locked so they can't be altered or deleted. They are, for all intents and purposes, ransomware-proof.
So the biggest takeaway here is this. The nature of this threat has fundamentally evolved. We have to move past this idea of ransomware as some loud, clumsy intruder. The new generation is patient, it's smart, and it is terrifyingly efficient.
The moment a threat like this gets inside, your network is being measured. The attackers are timing you. And in a game this rigged, the only way to win is to make sure they never ever get the chance to start the clock.